So hello all the Star Technophile, this is Ojasvi Jan, and in this video we will going to discuss about one of the best opportunities for those who really want to pursue a master from one of the best institute of the India, that is nothing but a triple IT Hyderabad. So in this video we will mainly discuss about the one of the course that is introduced by triple IT Hyderabad in 2021, and its name is a PDM course, stands for Product Design and Management. If you really want to get an admission in this course, there are four ways basically. First one is a gate. If you have a valid gate score, then definitely you can apply for this course. Second one is a seed. If you have a valid seed score, you can apply for this. And the third one is a very intuitive one. It's kind of a startup idea. If you have some kind of a startup idea, you can apply for this course. And the fourth one is a self-sponsored. So in this video, we will mainly discuss about the third way to apply for this course, that is called as a startup idea. If you have a kind of a startup idea and you really want to work on that, then definitely this course will going to help you a lot. And for this discussion today we have a very special guest. His name is a Karthik, and very special thing about is that currently he got an offer from the triple IT Hyderabad for the PDM course, and he had applied for this course through the startup idea. So in this video we will going to discuss about lots more detail about it, like how he applied for that and what kind of things he has faced during a form filling, and what kind of interview for this any candidate will going to face. So thank you very much, Karthik, for sharing your information with us.
It's my pleasure.
So let's start with a basic question first. I really want to know your academics background. So could you please share with us?
Yeah, sure. So I have completed my BSc in Computer Science from Mulund College of Commerce, University of Bombay, and I have completed my MCA this year from Narsimha Institute of Management Studies, Bombay. And now I would be pursuing my MTech in Product Design and Management from IIIT Hyderabad.
Fine, means you have done BCA, sorry, BSc.
BSc.
Yeah, and then right now you're pursuing MCA, that is 2022 pass out, right? And now you will going to
Yes.
start your MTech course. So like why MTech? I mean, you have done already masters, matlab MC only. Why you want to pursue MTech again?
Right. So basically, MCA is a degree, in which you are taught only coding. So it is more coding specific. But I wanted a course wherein we are taught coding, but as well as management part. Right. So one option I had is MBA, but then it is completely on management. So I wanted a technical management role. So I thought of this program which IIIT Hyderabad has started, and I did my research and I found that this is the best program which I can get into. So I applied for the same.
Fine. So, like PDM courses started in 2021. So, how you gathered all this information regarding it? Okay, this is a perfect course for me, and what, and like all the pros and cons about it.
Right. So what I did was I first gone through all the information which is provided by IIIT website under the MTech in PDM program, and then to make sure that all the information which they have provided is aligned with the role of product manager, what I did, I watched YouTube videos, and what I found was it is 100% similar about what I want to do as a product manager. A product manager performs various tasks such as he needs to build a business strategy, he needs to build a profit model. And I am very excited to work with such kind of roles because it is a techno management role.
Correct.
Wherein we are not only performing coding, but we are also managing the products. So
Correct.
I checked the YouTube videos and I checked the information provided by the IIIT Hyderabad website, and I found that it is 100% similar to what I want. So that was the research I did before applying to this course.
Fine. And why startup one? Means there are other three ways as well. Why you applied for this channel only?
Right. So I didn't had a valid. I mean, I didn't give a gate exam. Uh, I didn't had a gate score. Also, I don't belong to a design background, so I didn't had a valid CED, EED score as well. And for industry and self-sponsored options, there were this barrier that you need to have a 5 years of work experience. Then only you would be eligible to get
Yes,
into.
true.
So the only option left with me was startup, where and I had a startup idea in my mind, so I applied through the startup
Hmm.
channel.
And how this startup idea came into your mind, because it's a very unique one. It's not a obvious thing कि एक syllabus है and then we are preparing and then we go for the form filling and then all this. So how this come into your mind?
Okay. So I had offers for doing my PhD from DY Patil University, Pune. And during for attending the PhD interviews, we need to prepare the thesis first, right? So what I did, I prepared my thesis, and my thesis was similar to the startup idea which I wanted to do from this course. So in my PhD thesis also, I was building a product
Hmm.
related to education, which would benefit the college students as well as the working professionals. So what I did, the same thesis I converted into a startup idea and I applied through the channel, through startup channel.
So basically, when you have started working on your thesis, exactly when?
Yeah, I started on January 2022.
Okay, so that kind of plan is already there in your mind from January onwards.
From January onwards, yes.
Fine. So I think this is all about a kind of a general info regarding a Karthik. And now let's discuss about a main topic, that is a triple IT Hyderabad PDM course admission procedure. So basically there are two phase in this procedure. First one is a form filling phase and second one is an interview phase. So let's discuss the form filling phase first. So, Karthik, my first question is what kind of form we need to fill for the PDM course, especially the startup candidate, those who are applying for the startup channel.
Okay, so as soon as you register into the admission portal of IIIT Hyderabad, if you are applying through a startup channel, when you select the startup mode from the drop down list, the page will redirect you to a PDF form, so which is provided by IIIT Hyderabad. So you need to download that form, and
Okay.
there are various details asked in the form, like what is your startup idea, who is the founder of the startup, how many employees are there in your startup, like you have a startup website or not, and who are your target customers. All that information, it is completely based on our startup. So all that information we need to fill in that form. We need to save that form and we need to upload the same form in the IIIT Hyderabad admission portal. So along with the form, we need to attach our resume as well.
Fine. So means if you are applying, if anyone is applying for this startup idea, then that candidate should be very clear about its startup one, ke who will going to complete that idea, like kind of everything. He needs to be clear with that, I think.
Yes, you need to know the in and out of the startup, right? Like
Mm.
it's not that uh, you are having a idea,
Mm.
but you don't know who are your competitors, who are your target customers. So you need to
Correct.
know the in and out of your startup, because once your forms get shortlisted, then obviously in the interview the panel are going to question you on your startup. So you need to have a thorough idea about
Correct.
what you are going to do.
Correct. And you told me about the kind of a fields, that is mandatory field and non-mandatory field during the form fillings. What are they, and what exactly we how exactly we need to handle that part?
Okay, so it's just like, the mandatory and non-mandatory field. When we fill a Google form, right, there are certain fields which are required and certain fields which are not required. fields are not required. It's up to us whether we want to provide that information or not. The same thing IIIT Hyderabad also had in their form. So there were mandatory fields such as what is the name of the founder, what is the founder email ID, and you need to provide a link to the startup website. When did you start the company? What domain are you targeting? And a short description about your startup, as well as the state of your startup. Like, is it live? Is your startup live, or you just have an idea of your startup? Who are your investors, if you have any? And then you need to describe the problem which you are solving, and your problem should be unique, right? It's not that you are trying to solve a problem which has already been
Hmm.
existing in the market. And then you need to provide
Hmm. Correct.
a deck, like it's a kind of a document which you need to provide, and that document should consist of all your startup idea. So that were the mandatory field. And the non-mandatory field, where who are your target customers, right? And what gap are you addressing? Like what
Hmm.
new are you proposing to the society? Then what is your solution? And you need to
Hmm.
mention your technology stack. So these are the non-mandatory field. It's up to you. And which other
Hmm.
product or companies have similar problems?
Hmm.
Like who are your competitors? And how is our solution better?
Hmm.
So these are all non-mandatory field. But I would suggest that do not leave any field blank, because if you leave any field blank, it shows that you are least interested, you are not
Hmm.
interested. So like for example, let us take the
Correct.
example of there was a question in the form which states that please mention technology stack, which was not mandatory, but you
Hmm.
need to provide the possible answers. Even if you have not decided, you need to give the possible answers that I would be using ASP.NET, or
Hmm.
I would be using NetBeans, but it might change. You need to mention that in the bracket as well,
Hmm.
but do not leave any field blank. Otherwise, your form
Hmm.
might not get shortlisted. So this is the one important message I would like to circulate to all of you.
Fine. Like if that candidate able to answer each and every field, and this will show the kind of a positive attitude as well. Still, that is in progress.
Right.
Idea is in progress, but that person want to implement this in the real world. So I think this is a very
Right.
important, correct. And
So the professors will also find that this candidate is sincere. He know what he has to do. So you should fill all the fields which are there in the form.
Hmm. I think you also mentioned that we need to attach a resume as well. So, like, could you please suggest us what kind of resume anyone should attach and what kind of field that should highlight it as per the startup point of view?
Firstly, if you are having any work experience, obviously, please describe your work experience in detail. Like, for example, if you are working in XYZ company, please provide what work are you carrying out on a daily
Hmm.
basis. Like, are you developing IoT related stuffs, or are you developing websites? Mention that in brief.
Hmm.
If in case if you don't have any experience, work experience, you might be having some internship experience. So highlight all the internships which you have done, right from your first year to the last of the year, and tell them your work responsibilities, and mention those internships which are related to product development. You are free to mention other internships as well, but focus more on the product development internships if you have done. And
Hmm.
also mention each and every project which you have done during your bachelor's.
Hmm.
Like, you need to mention all your projects. So the more is your project, the more idea it gives to the professors that yes, you have worked sincerely on some product.
Okay, so I think you have also done a kind of an internship, like, right?
Yeah,
So, what you have mentioned that, like, in a resume.
sure. So I have done around 10 to 12 internships.
Oh,
It's Yeah,
okay.
so it's obviously all are not related to product. Some are
Hmm.
related to product, and some are related to research internship. So I mentioned my company name and the
Hmm.
responsibilities carried out by me.
Mhm.
And I mentioned that in my resume also. I had published a book on machine learning. It says that how machine learning can be implemented in rural education. So my book is available on Amazon, so I provided the link of my book. Apart
Mhm.
from that, I had 15 papers publication, so I
Oh
mentioned
my
all that.
God. Fine.
And
Like you are prepared with very tightly for this course, I mean.
yeah, because the thing is, I didn't had a valid, I didn't give a gate exam, right? So I didn't had
Mhm.
a gate score. So
Mhm.
for startup channel, your profile should speak for you, you know.
Hmm.
For the shortlisting purpose, they should shortlist your profile. Then in the interview, it's up to you. It's
Correct.
all about how you present yourself. So that is the thing.
Fine. You have done so many things. So fine. So after shortlisting, like when the shortlisting list released and the interview, like how many days are there for the preparation purpose?
So there were 1 week. And also I
Mm-hmm.
want to add this thing that once you have filled the form, all right, then
Mm-hmm.
what they will do is they'll send you a Google form. The Google form will consist of
Okay.
some questions like what is your motivation behind joining this course? And are you aware of
Okay.
product management? All those basic questions, you need to fill that as well. So they will consider
Okay.
that response as well as your form, application form which you have submitted. And based on the two, they will shortlist your profile and you will get 1 week to prepare yourself for the interview.
Okay. So, like, we need to fill the form and that sheet as well, that the question sheet as well. It's a kind of a both will help in the shortlisting purpose. Is it like that?
The question sheet which I mentioned, right? The form for the
Mm-hmm.
startup form, that is different.
Mm-hmm.
So your 3 aspects are there. In your application form, you need to submit the form, startup form, which is provided by them, and also your resume, right? And you submit it. Then your work is done. Then afterwards, you will get a Google form from the course coordinator. So that Google form is different. So in that Google form, there were questions like why you want to join this course, what product are you aspiring to build
Mm-hmm.
from this course. All those questions you need to
Mm-hmm.
fill that and submit it. And based on your application form and your Google form response, they'll shortlist.
Fine, fine, fine. Got it. So let's move to the very like very important phase, that is our interview phase. So let's start with the pre preparation phase of the interview. So what kind of pre preparation phase here in a PDM course for any candidate?
Right. So once your profile gets shortlisted, right? So I would suggest is go through all the basics of product management, say product management life cycle, right? And you need to explain with one example. So in product management life cycle, there are different phases, right? So once the product gets developed, there is an introduction phase, there is a growth phase, there is a maturity phase, and there is a decline phase. So what I would suggest is explain through a real life example. Let's say that if we take a WhatsApp as a product, now WhatsApp, it has been in the market since a long period of time. But now what updates they have made to the product? They have added the reactions. Now we are able to react to certain messages. So that comes under maturity phase. So explain through through relate with a real world scenario. And apart from that, 1 day prior to the interview, we were mailed 4 case studies. So we were asked to,
Okay.
read the case studies, identify the problems of the case study, and propose a solution. And the same case study would be a part of the discussion during the interview. So that was there.
Fine, fine. So means one day before the interview, they will going to send you one four case studies. It's a kind
Right.
of a theory kind of statements. So like, could you please give one
Yes.
example what kind of case study they are providing to the candidate?
Okay. So there were 1 case study which were related to EdTech platform. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So there was
Mm-hmm.
a EdTech platform which was similar to Code Tantra or Metal, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in that, what we are able to do, we are able to take tests, a
Mm-hmm.
proctored test, right? We are able to take that. Now, and we were able to conduct lectures also. So the teachers were also conducting lectures, right, on that platform. So it was not code tantra or metal, it was similar to that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the problems faced by them was the teachers complained that students don't turn on their videos. So we are not able to, figure out whether a student is paying attention or not. Or we are not able to figure out that is the student attending the lecture or they are making someone else to attend the lecture. So
Mm.
they requested the company to come up with a solution for this where they are able to measure the performance of the students. Otherwise, the college results will decline, right? So four
Correct.
person, let's name it as A, B, C, D. They proposed different solutions, right? So there were,
Mm-hmm.
let's say that Mr. A, he proposed a solution that once the students enter the platform, his video should be automatically turned on. If his video is, if his or her video is not turned on, then he or she would not be allowed to attend the class. But
Mm-hmm.
Mr. B said that this would lead to the invasion of privacy, right? Everyone has their privacy, so we
Mm-hmm.
can't force students to turn on the video. Mr. C suggested that instead of forcing students, we should create game like scenario. Like all the concepts should be translated into a game wherein students can, with playing that game, student would be able to understand the concept. So over here, student is enjoying the lesson and student is, paying attention also. And Mr. D, who is the product manager, he said that, no, there is no need to integrate any new features because their engineers are already overworked.
Mm-hmm.
So there is no need to introduce any new feature. We should keep our platform as it is. Now the manager of the company, the founder of the company is confused. Like whom should
Mm-hmm.
I follow and why? So we need to
Mm-hmm.
provide
Correct.
our suggestions. So that was one case study.
That's an interesting case study. I mean, like it's a real time scenario they will going to give you, and you
Right.
just figure out the way how you are thinking in that situation, this situation, kind of. Fine. So let's move to the D day, that is a interview day. So when you reach to the like triple IT Hyderabad campus, I think.
So I gave my interview online due to
Acha,
personal
it's online.
reasons.
Okay, it's
I
online.
ga- we need to report to the Triple IT Hyderabad, but due to unavoidable circumstances, I requested them for an online interview, and they accepted it. So for me, it was online, but other candidates were asked to report to the institute.
Fine, fine. So exactly when the whole procedure is started, like interview procedure started.
Oh, sure. So we needed to report to the campus on 25th of June
Hmm.
by 9 a.m. Right?
Fine.
So when we reported to the campus, there were a orientation session for the candidates. So during the orientation session, they told us that what we can expect from the course, right? And
Mm-hmm.
what are its future, what are the job opportunities which we would be getting, and they described about the
Mm-hmm.
labs. Okay.
Fine.
So once it was done, then what happened was we were emailed one case study out of the four which were given to us the previous day, and those
Mm-hmm.
case studies consisted of questions, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we need to provide solutions to the question. So we needed to write the solution in a piece of paper, and we need to scan it and send it to the email it to the invigilator. So during your interview, the panel might go through your answer sheet and will ask questions based on what you have written in the answer sheet. So that was a case study. But case study is very crucial.
Mm-hmm.
It plays a very important role during your interview. So be very, very thorough with that.
Mm-hmm. So means like day before the interview, they will send you a only statement, not the question. But on the interview day, they will ask you a question related to that case study.
Yes,
So
they'll ask you questions.
okay, so they will going to give you the question for every case study, or they will going to pick among four, like?
They will give going to pick any one among the four. So it depends on your luck which case study you get.
Hmm. Fine. So as a candidate, we need to prepare all four
Yeah,
case study, and they will going to give you the question on any of the case study, and then
case
we have to
studies.
answer it on the day only, like
Right.
on the spot only.
On the spot only. You will be provided 30 minutes to write answers to
Okay.
the questions.
Okay. So there is a time bound as well, 30 minutes. Fine.
Yes.
So, let's like what kind of question they have asked, uh, like related to your course as well and related to your startup as well.
Okay, so first question they asked me about the motivation to join this course, right? Like what you want to explore from this course and what is your motivation behind it. And then they asked me about what kind of products have you explored. Since
Mm-hmm.
mine was a edtech platform, so I mentioned that I have explored only edtech products because my
Mm-hmm.
startup was edtech only, right? And then they asked me
Mm-hmm.
that what is the important aspect for any product from the user point of view. I told them that the user interface has to be very simple so that every
Mm-hmm.
user can use the product very easily. Then they asked me about what do you know about product management. So I explained them about the product life cycle along with one real world application. Then they asked me about the case study based questions. Then the case study based questions started.
Fine. So exactly how many members are there in a panel?
There are 5 members. So every member was from a very reputed organization.
Hmm.
So they knew about product management. They had
Hmm.
certain kind of experience with product
Hmm.
management.
Like, was there any question related to the algorithm, data structure, programming related as well?
No, because mine was a startup channel, right? And
Hmm.
I had projects, I had done internships.
Hmm.
So I was not asked any DSA questions. But yeah, if you don't have any experience, working experience, then they might ask you the DSA related questions.
Okay. So, like, if I ask you, like, a short, like, kind of a suggestion that you want to give everyone related to the interview. So, what kind of suggestion you would like to give?
I would like to give that fill the form very, very
Hmm.
carefully, fill all the
Hmm.
fields of the form, and highlight each and everything on your resume, A to Z, like what all awards you have won, what all works you have done, and project is a very important part. So make sure that you describe your project well. And once your resume gets shortlisted, once your profile gets shortlisted, please prepare for the case study based questions very well. So it should be
Hmm.
the solution should be on the tip of your tongue, right? So please prepare for it well
Hmm.
because case studies plays a very important role during your interviews. So prepare these all things if you prepare, and after that explore product management, basics of product management. You can explore
Hmm.
YouTube videos. There are a lot of videos available out there. Make notes,
Hmm.
and 1 week is sufficient for you to prepare for the interview. So you would be able to crack it.
Fine. So I think, Kartik, could you please share with us what kind of interview you have gone through that at the time of preparation? So that would be helpful for the future candidate. So related to
Interview
the PD,
preparation.
like related to the PDM, like you told that okay, go through the videos related to the PDM. If you share with us, then definitely we will going to mention in our description as well as a comment section as well.
Sure. So what I'll do, I'll go through I'll send you the links of the videos which I referred. Also, I had made some notes, so I'll scan those and I'll send it as a PDF so we can.
Yeah,
But for that, I think we need to upload it. We need to make it live. Okay. But anyways, if someone is interested, then you can ping me on LinkedIn, so I would be able to give you the notes which I had. So that
definitely.
is
And
fine.
I'm going to mention a link of the like profile, LinkedIn profile of Karthik, then definitely you will going to contact through the LinkedIn platform, and he will going to share you everything that he has related to the PDM. So that's fine, and thank you very much. And let's move to the kind of a general question. Like now you got an offer from the Triple IT Hyderabad, best institute of the India, truly speaking. And what was your expectation from this Triple IT Hyderabad? Definitely college का एक ड्रीम सब लेकर चलते हैं और एक एक्सपेक्टेशन भी लेके चलते हैं कि एक बार एडमिशन मिल गया देन आई विल गेट दैट, आई विल गेट दिस काइंड ऑफ. सो व्हाट काइंड ऑफ एक्सपेक्टेशन यू हैव राइट नाउ?
So I have a very lot of expectations from the institute. So I want to explore all the product management cycle practically. So now I have learned the theory part.
Hmm.
What is the product management life cycle? Now I want to see that how it works in a real life scenario. Like
Mm-hmm.
how you gather requirements for a product, how meetings happen. So all that I
Hmm.
want to explore. And yes, the major part is the placement part. So I wish that I get placed into Google as a junior product manager in the future.
Definitely, this is a like this platform has a huge connection. What I can say that, or definitely every candidate will going to get a kind of a profits in terms of the work or in terms of our internship, definitely. And what you feel that ke, how this organization will help you to achieve your startup goal. Definitely you have started this admission, initiated this admission through this startup idea. So what you feel
Right.
that how this institute helps you in the startup idea?
So every semester we need to do a certain kind of product development project. So
Hmm.
since I belong to the startup channel, I will be working on my own startup project and the institute will guide me in that. So that is the best part about the institute.
Correct. Correct. So this is all about the discussion related to the form filling, related to the interview. So last line, like if you really want to give you the suggestion to the future candidates in two or three line, what it would be?
Okay, so don't get motivated if you don't have a valid gate score. If you really want to get into this
Hmm.
course, you can apply via the startup channel also. And be motivated, like
True.
don't give up.
Hmm.
Even if you don't have a valid gate score, you can still get it in the startup channel, but you should know A to Z of your startup. So
Definitely.
work on your startup thing and research more about what kind of work you wish to do. If you want to start a startup, then you are good to
Hmm.
go, and there is nothing like that.
Yeah. So thank you very much, Karthik, for sharing all the information related to the PDM. That would be very helpful for all the candidate, those who are preparing for this college. And definitely, I have covered almost all the permutation and combination related to the interview and the form filling. But still, if you have any doubt related to this, you can comment this in a comment section, and definitely Karthik will going to respond you, and you can also ping him personally through the LinkedIn channel as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.